Five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? My name is Ryan Thomas. You're joining me right now live on the Thomas Take Sports Podcast YouTube channel. What a day it has been for me. Great day, to say the least. Plenty more on that info coming up at a later date. I, as always, will keep the viewers and listeners posted on the journey that is the Thomas Takeover. So, to say the least, I am very excited to kick off this show, this episode of the show, talking about a topic that is very near and dear to me, being that I'm a part of it, the MMA media. So mixed martial arts is a sport that has grown leaps and bounds over the last 10 to 15 years especially. You can attribute that to a lot of different things: the fighters, the marketing, the branding, some of the broadcasting deals. You can attribute it to a lot of things: great fights, memorable moments, McGregor, Mayweather. A lot of things can be attributed to why MMA is where it is today. And the main goal at the time of Lorenzo Fertitta and Frank Fertitta, two casino giants in the world of Viva Las Vegas, when they decided to buy the UFC for $2 million back in 2001, and they called up their buddy Dana White to run the show, they wanted the UFC to become the Super Bowl of mixed martial arts. And they have done that. They have done that and then some, because of the fact that they dabbled in another sport. They cross-promoted, which is something that they said they never do. They cross-promoted with Floyd Money Mayweather and the notorious one, Conor McGregor, adding up to a top two highest paid, bought, purchased fight, whatever you want to call it, highest gate in pay-per-view history. One of them. And one half of that on the bill was one of their fighters under a UFC contract. So they have created an idea that they were going to be the Super Bowl of MMA since the beginning. Since the very, very beginning, that was their goal, that was their dream, that was their aspiration, and they did it. Now they have actually found a way to somehow one-up themselves in terms of making the sport mainstream by signing this streaming deal with ESPN Plus. When I first heard the news, I was a little bit skeptical. I was a little bit nervous for the fans that have bought and purchased and paid for the UFC Fight Pass. For the better part of the last 4 years, the fans that have had it, that have paid this $9.99 a month charge, now they have to pay $4.99 for ESPN Plus. It's for something much, much better, a much, much better product. You're getting more content across all sports rather than just one. And I love it. I actually took it upon myself to subscribe to it. Pay the $49.99 per year because I love it that much. It's got the boxing fights, it's got the 30 for 30s, it's got NHL, it's got MLB content. And now it's going to have a major, major staple in the MMA landscape media-wise, with Ariel Helwani moving to ESPN, moving to, in particular, ESPN Plus, but being an employee for ESPN. This is massive, massive news in the sport of mixed martial arts. And the reason why I feel this way, that it is a massive, massive news, and that the landscape of MMA media and the landscape of mixed martial arts has changed forever, is for many reasons. But the one reason why I'm going to say that the media landscape has changed forever is because more eyes will be on this sport than ever before. Fans of the sport will be created. Fans of the sport, like myself, that have been fans of the sport for over 15 years, will now have an outlet that they can trust rather than a media outlet that might be a little bit underground, they might not know too much about. It will bring more casual fans to the sport. I guarantee you that. And as much as I don't really like casual fans because they kind of pretend to know things that they don't know, I want the sport to grow. I want the sport to be just as big as the NFL, just as big as Major League Baseball, just as big as the NBA, just as big as the NHL, because it deserves to be put in that sentence. These guys train their tails off. They dedicate their lives to the sport and get paid very underwhelmingly, might I add. And the fans of this sport, the MMA community, is so diehard, so passionate that they deserve to have an outlet that they can trust. And they also deserve a show that will surely entertain with the two biggest media names inside the sport outside of Joe Rogan in Ariel Helwani and Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen has built up a fantastic post-fight career, and I don't even think he did it intentionally. I think it was just something that he thought of doing one day, and it kind of turned into this big thing. I mean, obviously, he's got a great personality. That's what he's known for. That's what he made his money on throughout his career, was that great personality. And Ariel Helwani has been a guy that's been the Howard Cosell of MMA for the last, 10, 15 years. Getting all the leads, getting the beat, getting the word out, getting the stories, interviewing the best fighters. He's fantastic. More so, he's a great guy. I had the honor of meeting him in Buffalo at UFC 210. He had a lot of very encouraging words for me in terms of my career aspirations and my career dreams, telling me to continue to do what I'm doing, and things will definitely look up for me, which they are. And it's just awesome. I'm so happy for him. He deserves this opportunity, and he deserves to work for a network that has been the wide leader in sports, worldwide leader in sports for the last 30, 40 years in ESPN. A network that I've always really enjoyed. I felt like they've kind of missed the boat on things the last few years, and now they're finally, I don't know if they have some new people in the room, whether they're a little bit younger, 40 to or 20 to 40 demographic rather than 40 to 60 demographic, but it's working. They have made big strides with their streaming platform. This show with Chael and Ariel, I'm telling you guys, those of you that aren't MMA fans now, those of you that might have become MMA fans because of me, which I've had a lot of people say that they've tuned into the show, that they've enjoyed it enough to say, this guy really enjoys this, I should watch this. Brandon Cook said to me that he watched Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor because of my coverage on it. He wasn't that big of a fan, but that was why he watched it, was because of my show. That is pretty awesome. And I think Ariel Helwani and Chael Sonnen will have an even greater effect in the sport than what they've had the last 5 to 10 years. And in the case of Helwani, 15 years, you could say too. This changes ESPN. You have Brett Okamoto, who's done a fantastic job for them. You have Ariel Helwani, who's done a fantastic job for them. You have a lot of pieces to the puzzle already in place that makes ESPN the #1 MMA network now. Really, though, it causes me to wonder what is going to come of MMAfighting.com, which is the website that Ariel Helwani ruled practically for the last 10 years. What becomes of them? The MMA Beat, I know that not to take anything away from those guys, the Luke Thomases and the Danny Seguras and the Wagenheim and Chuck Mendenhall, but it's just not going to be the same without Ariel Helwani. He's the A-list guy. He's the guy that everybody tunes in for. I don't know if I'll tune in. I'm going to try and hope that it's not cringeworthy, hope that it goes smoothly and go from there. But I really hope MMA fighting doesn't crumble because of this, but I do think there's a solid chance that it could. You have Chuck Mendenhall already, and I think he's writing for the New York Times now or something like that. Jeff Wagenheim is a Washington Post guy. So, I think that it could lead to possibility of the MMA landscape changing for the better and for the worst, being that those guys might not be able to carry the torch that Ariel gave them. The MMA Hour, which is one of the best shows in the sport of mixed martial arts, will move to ESPN Plus and will become the Ariel Helwani MMA show, which I really like that. It brings Helwani's name out there more. And anytime you have a guy like Ariel Helwani and a guy like Chael Sonnen moving into these domains with their show, the new show, it creates more opportunity for guys like myself. So I'm very happy about it because I think it's great for Ariel. It's great for Chael. It might give more opportunity to guys at Vox Media and MMAfighting.com. But it'll also give opportunities to guys like me who've been sports writing since I was 16 years old, and looking to break into the business. So everybody, that was my take. Adios. The Thomas Take Sports Podcast is out. The MMA landscape, the MMA media landscape has changed forever. Take care, everybody. Let's go, Buffalo. UFC predictions. UFC 225 is coming up. Keep those eyes open for my preview and prediction. Take care, everybody.